Hello, and welcome to Agriculture for Life, the Classroom Agriculture Program volunteer training session. Thank you for joining us. Agriculture for Life is a charitable organization dedicated to building a greater understanding and appreciation of agriculture and its fundamental connection to life. Our mission is to build awareness, understanding, and a positive public perception of agriculture through education. We do this by developing and distributing educational resources, curriculum materials, and programs that promote a better understanding of agriculture's importance and its role in daily life. Through partnerships and initiatives, we work to bridge the gap between farmers and consumers and foster a greater appreciation for the food, fiber, and fuel produced by an Alberta farmer and ranchers. The Classroom Agriculture Program began delivering agriculture education to Alberta students in 1985 and has been growing ever since. To date, over 600,000 students have participated in our program. CAP is all about the food you eat and where it comes from. CAP explains the value and importance of agriculture in Alberta. It highlights the vast opportunities in agriculture and the people, producers, and industries that drive this trade. The program is presented to grade 4 and 5 students across Alberta at no charge. Volunteers like yourselves are the ones that are in charge of delivering the program through storytelling, engaging props, and fun activities. CAP is now part of Agriculture for Life, a longtime funding partner of the program. Up here, you can see all the different parts where it talks about us and the program's history, as well as the two different pages for schools and teachers so that they can go on and register. The volunteers, which is yourselves, our membership, which I'll click on here. So you can see CAP is provided free of charge to our grade 4 and 5 classrooms. Thank you to the support of our members and our founding partners, which you can find here as they're all listed. They are all listed with their websites in the volunteer manual as well. So you can click on those and get all the information that you need. And they all have their own great resources that are welcome to be used in the classrooms as well. And then Ag for Life's founding partners here at the bottom. So the volunteer resources, if you hit on that, this is where you're going to find the volunteer manual. This is the presentation right here that I'm going to talk about. And here's the volunteer manual that I'm going to go through with you today. The other thing is this is also the link, as many of you, if you're already seeing this training video, you've gone through the registration process. This year we moved over into our new system that's going to allow you guys to match and communicate easy with your teachers and help you get in contact with them directly. So once you've done that and it clicks on here, it brings you to our AITC dashboard, which is the Agriculture in the Classroom dashboard, where you can log in and then get matched with your schools that are in your area. Now I'm going to go back to our volunteer page and our resource page. And on here, you'll see, as I said, this is the video that I'm going to show you later, and I'm going to bring up our volunteer manual. You can click on it and view it. You can download it. We updated it here this month. So our volunteer manual goes through the steps and refers to any information you need to know before you head into the classroom for your presentation. Presentations typically occur between the months of February and June. We hope that you're able to have most of your presentations wrapped up in early June. As we know, at the end of June, schools are very busy wrapping up their school year. You'll need to check with your teacher to see if there is any volunteer security clearances needed. Some schools may require this, some may not, but it's always a good thing to check with your teacher before you're going in there so that you can have that completed if you need to. The other thing is when you go into your schools, you'll need to probably sign in at their office that you're there. Every school is a little bit different, but always check in with the office and then they will direct you to where you can find the teacher. Just a quick reminder, we have evaluation forms. These now with our new system, these are sent out automatically to the teachers. And then once you've completed your presentations, we also like to have an evaluation done so we can get your experience and how things went for you. And again, this is found on our AITC dashboard. Going into the presentation, your presentations are usually about an hour in length. Again, check with your teacher on the amount of time that you're going to have to present. Some classes, they'll have one block and maybe it's only a 40-minute block. So just be sure to check with your teacher as to how much time you'll have to present and be very respectful of that time frame so that you can stay within what they have allotted for the presentation. A really important thing to remember is the teacher is to remain in that classroom throughout your entire presentation. It's very important that you are not left alone with the students at any time. And if that situation ever happens, you would contact the office and make sure that they have someone in the classroom with you. The other thing is with your presentation, a really key to having a good experience is having the students involved. Sometimes if you're reading a prepared speech, it doesn't necessarily keep them enticed. So it's always good to try and be engaging, put that energy into your presentation, and it's really going to help you be successful in the classroom. So we encourage you to develop your own presentation, use your personal knowledge and experiences of agriculture, and then as well as some of the information that we supply here in this manual. The material in this manual isn't intended to be used verbatim, but it's a resource so you can pick and choose what you feel comfortable with. Just like a teacher themselves, they want their own autonomy to be able to teach the material as they see fit and works for them. So we encourage volunteers to use that CAP theme of grow with agriculture. That is the theme behind CAP. It suggests agriculture is part of the students' daily lives, and it's a key contributor to their growth, right? And to the growth of Alberta's economy and agriculture industry. You can talk about the opportunities in agriculture and the impacts of agriculture. We want you to explain where their food is coming from, connecting them to agriculture and food. It's really great to use examples where food comes from and explain the path that the food takes from the farm to the table. We would like to see you use the presentation and the video created by CAP. I'm going to take you where you can find the presentation on the CAP website. The presentation can be found under Volunteer Resources. This is a great presentation that provides an overview of agriculture here in Alberta. You can pause and stop the presentation so students can engage and answer questions as you go through it. Following this presentation, you can use your own presentation that shows your part in the world of agriculture. Whether that is your farm or from your job, this is where you can provide students with your experiences in agriculture. Then it will go into our true and false questions that you can set up and play with the students as we're going. So it goes through each of our commodity groups that is supporting the CAP program, which is really great as well. So this is something that you can use. I can also send you the file if you want to take this, and then you can add your own material to the end of it as well. So I can send you the presentation digitally. Then at the end of it, you can add your own personal style and your own personal pictures to it. But we really want you to use this part of it so it touch base on all of the commodity groups that are supporting this CAP program. In addition to the presentation, we ask that you show the students the Grow with Agriculture video. This is a 9-minute video that can be found on the CAP homepage when you scroll down towards the bottom of the page. The teacher can pull up the website and show this to the students for you. We will play through this video now so you can see everything that it touches on.
Okay, eggs, beef, chicken, canola oil, bread, beans, milk.
Hi.
Are you really a scarecrow?
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm looking for something different. I kind of got tired of just hanging around in the field all day.
Yeah. I can't imagine working on a farm.
Why not?
I don't know. I guess I never really thought about it.
That's crazy. Oh, come on! There's somebody I want you to meet.
What are you doing?
Wait for it. Ta-da!
Hey, Nigel.
Emily, this is Greg Stamp. He's a seed grower.
Hi, Emily. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Emily can't imagine working on a farm.
It just seems kinda old-fashioned.
Well, it's not much different than it used to be. You take good seed, good soil, and moisture, which we can provide with irrigation.
What kind of things do you grow?
Oh, we grow crops such as this barley field, and we also grow wheat, durum, and flax, and seed canola. But the crops that we grow on our farm are mainly for seed production, which we sell to other farmers to replant the following year.
So if Nigel was looking for a job, what would some of his choices be on an Alberta crop farm?
Well, he could be a machine operator, he could be a farmer, he could be an irrigation specialist, and he could be an agronomist. But we could always use a good scarecrow.
I think I might want to try to work with animals. Come on.
Oh, wait. Bye, Greg.
Bye.
Hi.
Hello.
Emily, this is Rosie Templeton. She's a cattle rancher.
Nice to meet you, Emily.
Nice to meet you, too. Nigel's looking for a new job. Can you tell us a bit about working with animals here in Alberta?
Well, Emily, my family and I run a cattle ranch, which we call a cow-calf operation. In the summertime, our cattle get to graze wide open pastures, which is where they are right now with their mothers. And did you know, Emily, that Alberta has the most cattle of any other Canadian province? We have 5.5 million head of cattle here, which is almost double the amount of people.
Wow. So what about chickens?
On Alberta's nearly 275 chicken farms, chickens are raised for either breeding, egg laying, or meat. The chickens that are raised for meat are raised in well-ventilated barns where there's plenty of light and room to move around, and they're able to eat or drink whenever they please.
So if Nigel was interested in working with animals, what could he do?
Well, Nigel could be a cattle rancher, a sheep farmer, a dairy farmer, an inspector, a trucker, or even a veterinarian. Every farmer has a close relationship with their veterinarian to make sure that they can keep their herds and flocks as healthy as possible.
I don't know. I think I might want to try something else. I don't like the way this bull is looking at me.
Okay. Bye, Rosie.
Bye, Emily. Bye, Nigel.
Ooh. Hey, check this out.
Nigel, I don't think you should go up there.
Hi, I'm Keith. How can I help you?
Me and my friend Nigel were just curious about farming technology.
Okay.
What could you tell us about it?
Oh, I can tell you lots. Come with me. Well, this is a combine. What a combine does essentially is take grain from the field and separate the clean grain from the straw. The clean grain goes way up top there, and the straw gets spread evenly in the field once the combine goes through, so nothing gets wasted. We use GPS technology on the farm to help us drive big machines like this so nothing gets missed and lost. Similar to what we do on a dairy farm, for example, with RFID tags to keep track of cows and how cows move. So technology is being used throughout every portion of the farm.
Wow. Thanks, Keith.
Oh, you're very welcome.
I am Nigel 2.0.
Yeah, I like the old version better.
Really?
What happens next? How does all of this get turned into food?
Come on, I'll show you.
Wow, what's this place?
It's an egg farm, where you get eggs from chickens. All eggs are collected and sorted for shipping. Did you know brown eggs are laid by brown chickens and white eggs are laid by white chickens?
Cool.
At a modern dairy farm, these cows will go through the milker when they are ready to be milked. The robot milker knows just how much milk to take. Then the milk gets used for all kinds of dairy. Milk, cream, yogurt, ice cream, and cheese.
What about crops? I know you can eat peas and beans and other vegetables. What happens with all the other crops?
Well, barley, flax, and other grains are sold whole or milled into flour for baking or used for animal feed. Alberta is quite famous for our barley-fed beef. Canola is often pressed and turned into oil for cooking. We make sugar from our sugar beets. Some of our potatoes become potato chips.
And all of this ends up at my grocery store?
A lot of it will. But Alberta also ships its products across Canada and around the world.
Wow, this is really cool. Where are we going next?
I'll show you. Emily, this is Corrine Vandenberg. She's a scientist.
Cool, but what does science have to do with farming?
Well, Emily, science has a lot to do with farming and agriculture. In fact, science is the platform in which we can improve agriculture, improve our animals and crops, look at new ideas and technologies like equipment and varieties and breeds, and as well as steward our land and our water.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, check this out. What's really exciting about agriculture is how we can take existing crops, like these ones here, and use them in new ways. For example, as a biofuel or a replacement for plastics.
Wow. So what are you working on today?
We're doing a lot today. We're looking at new varieties of crops. We're looking at growth performance trials of our animals. We're also looking how we can use agriculture practices to reclaim our land. We're looking at innovation in this industry, and we're meeting a lot of interesting people along the way. If you're interested, there are programs in place where you can learn more about agriculture.
Thanks. I'll think about it.
So, maybe something in the agriculture science field?
Maybe, but I still have a few more questions.
Wait for me!
Excuse me, do you work here?
I do, I'm Cindy.
Can you tell me a bit about the products you have here from Alberta farmers?
Absolutely, we've got products all over the store from Alberta farmers. In our dairy department, we've got products that include milk and cheese and eggs. Also, if you move to the produce department, we have beets and beans and tomatoes and carrots.
What about chicken and beef?
Those too come from Alberta producers. We have beef and chicken in our meat department. And a lot of the food that comes into our stores comes in fresh in the raw states. In our deli department, we'll take the fresh chicken and we'll cook it so that you can take it home and eat it for dinner. In our bakery department, you'll see that we use the grains and the canola oil, and we'll make breads right in our store as well.
Wow, I had no idea that so much food came from right here in Alberta.
A lot of products also have animal byproducts. For example, cosmetics, cleaners, pharmaceuticals, even candy.
Agriculture. Who knew?
I did. That's what I've been trying to show you. It isn't just scaring crows all day.
There's so much I can do. Research, technology, veterinary science. I'm gonna have to check these out. What about you, Nigel? Did you find a new job?
I don't know. I think I'm just gonna go back to the farm. I think that's where I feel I'd really be outstanding in my field.
Okay, well, good luck.
You too, Emily.
Bye.
We have found that students really enjoy watching and learning from this video, and they connect with the Scarecrow Nigel, who has become a mascot for the CAP program, as you will also see him in the CAP activity booklets. The CAP activity booklets are now sent directly to the teacher from our head office. And if they are short, they can contact our office, or they can find it on the CAP website under Teacher Resources. Some tips and tricks that you might want to use when going in to present to students. It's always great to use visual aids and hands-on and engaging materials whenever possible. It's also important to ask the students questions to engage them with your presentation. What do you think when you hear the word farm? What do you think when you hear the word agriculture? Do they know what it means? So this is where it's also important to keep the agriculture terminology and scientific terms to a minimum so as not to overwhelm the students or lose them in those terms so that they are not able to relate to it. Another great tip is to wear a name tag or write your name on the board so students can call you by name. It's also important to be prepared for controversial topics that might come up during your presentation around environment, animal welfare, food versus fuel, and food safety. It is also okay to tell the students that that's something that they should research themselves. If you find that your students are getting off topic with questions, don't be afraid to say, we're getting off topic, and bring them back in and to restructure. It's also really important to note that it's okay to ask the teacher for help. There is sometimes multiple behaviors in a classroom, and you can ask the teacher for assistance in handling those behaviors. Again, really important why you are not to be left alone in a classroom with the students, and the teacher must always be present. Before you start your presentation, you might want to set some ground rules with the students. If you want them to raise their hands, wait their turn, or if you want them to wait till the end of the presentation, or if they're allowed to ask questions. You can set those rules up along with the teacher before you start presenting. Another important note is it's important to only give a presentation to one classroom at a time. Ensure that the teacher isn't bringing in another class to your presentation. This is noted to the teachers before presentations are assigned, but in case it happens, you can make sure that they know that they can go and register, and we will ensure that they get a presentation to them. Some resources where you can find information is also listed in our volunteer manual. This has all of our organizations that support the CAP program, and it provides their website where you can go and find more information about that commodity or contact them directly. So some great ideas that you can utilize that other people have used in the past is some great food ideas. The dirt for dessert is a very popular one. If you want to read through this and see how that is done, but it explains to the students that the farmer and his partners are all concerned caretakers of the environment, and they value those natural resources. Every day is Earth Day for a farmer or rancher. And then some other food activities are grinding your own wheat, making butter from cream. We can provide you with the little containers that you can use to make butter from cream. Just contact us at the office, and some other ideas there. So you can analyze a cheeseburger, you can analyze a pizza, what Alberta ingredients were used. Some great ideas there. Some other ideas that you can use are some games. A slice of apple, you will have seen in the presentation, there was a video about the apple and how much that slice is actually used for farming. So this is where you can take an apple and actually cut that down as that video is playing during your presentation. Have students do this activity with you. Again, contact your teacher before you're bringing in any materials to the classroom to make sure everything is okay. But it's a great activity to do with the students. Another fun activity is name that tool. You can bring in some different agriculture things that are used commonly on farms, a fence insulator, a soil thermometer, a chick water, different things, and bring those in and see if the students can identify what those are and have them guess. It makes for a really fun interactive presentation. There's also when you can bring in the animal byproducts, and they can try and figure out where these came from, and starts to introduce them to other products that they may not have known came from agriculture. Near towards the end of the volunteer manual, you will find some example presentations that you can utilize that past volunteers have used in classrooms and have been very successful with. Again, I want to thank you for being a volunteer and spreading the story of agriculture to students all across Alberta. This program doesn't operate without you, and I want to send a big thank you to all of you. Thank you for joining us for the training today. There is a Google form link on our YouTube page that we would ask that you take the time to complete and show that you have completed our volunteer training. Thank you again for your time. Please reach out to us at any time if you have any questions. I have put our emails up for you to contact, for you to jot down. Thank you again, and have a great day.